Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies, both new and old, with a strictly positive critical eye and award shows.
That's right. and to avoid lazy negativity, we've decided to make this episode and all of our episodes a little bit of a drinking game. Yeah. So anytime you hear us say anything negative at all about these movies, about each other, about your face, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means that we need to take a drink.
Oh my God.
Hope you drink along with us.
What is in that bottle? So,
wow.
Pour yourselves a glass or crack a bottle, and we're going to talk about the Oscars. Has a longer run time than most British series.
Where's my thing? Get here. Buzz. There it is. All right, gentlemen, we'd like to start with a pre-show shot since I'm drinking a full bottle of champagne during this podcast. I don't think I'm too worried about getting too drunk, but that's it.
I made myself a dirty gin martini for our fancy awards episode here.
Oh, and I'm just
sitting
here with my 9% beer that I drink every week.
Classic.
All right,
cheers,
so
boys. Cheers.
Oh, cheers. A pre-show shot to get us loose here. Okay.
Yeah, that happened like a while back.
So for those of you new to this podcast, first of all, we're also on YouTube. So I know that you like to multitask while you listen to us, those of you who do. But on YouTube, this is a special one on YouTube because Dave set up the slides for every single category because this is our Oscars show. So we're going to go category by category. Oh my God, I'm going to have to burble out this episode because of the champagne.
Oh no.
That was a weird sound.
Let it out.
So we're gonna put the slides up. So it's fun. It's fun. Ask some of our friends that watch us on YouTube and give us a whole lot of shit for all this stuff. The YouTube fans are the most critical of our show, I would say.
I mean, they're most critical, but there's a lot of compliments too. I just send you guys the bad ones.
That's yeah.
Like,
thanks.
Yeah,
sure.
But please,
the ones that write a fucking paragraph in the comments section.
In our show notes, you'll find our link tree that Dave set up, and there's the YouTube link. Also, Apple Music, Spotify. Please like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. So yeah, this is our Oscars 2023 for the 2022 film year. The Chris Rock special just came out almost a week exactly before this Oscars, which is like, yeah, Netflix just gives them. I think Netflix has so much. Am I clipping Dave? Well, whatever. I think Netflix gives them so much money. I'm sure even Chris Rock was like, really? Like on the anniversary of the Oscars? And Netflix is like, people are going to be talking about it. Here's $20 million. And he said, okay. That's my guess. But yeah, this is the anniversary of the slap. And also, we're like a week away from our anniversary of our Everything Everywhere All at Once episode, which opens with us talking about the Oscars telecast, which we complained about, or at least I certainly complained about, because I thought the telecast was a bad telecast. They tried to make changes and they half-assed it, and I thought it was a bad show. But the awards were good. I'm rambling. Also, we saw...
Who hosted last year?
Last year's host was...
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock presented.
No,
it wasn't Chris Rock.
He presented that, wasn't he?
It was... fuck it. I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel's back this year. Yeah, look it up. Somebody look it up.
Yeah, they had to get someone who could fight.
Somebody left. Somebody opened the show and then just disappeared for the majority of the telecast. I don't think it was Kimmel though. Oh no, it was the three. It was Wanda,
Sykes, Regina Hall, Amy Schumer, and Wanda Sykes.
That's right. And they basically did two opens last year. Some were like the jokes of just each other, and then some were about the movies. It was really strange. Anyway,
it was weird.
The point is, we've seen almost all of these movies.
Pretty good one.
So please go back through our feed if any of these movies are interesting to you. We saw them almost all of them in theaters. Banshees of Inisherin, Tar, Elvis, you two saw in theaters. Top Gun Maverick, obviously. All Quiet, we saw at home, but John saw in theaters. Women Talking, we saw in theaters. These are all the Best Picture ones that I'm saying right now. So all of these we saw in theaters, and we recorded in real time before the award season thing. So we were void of this. Jesus, John, your fucking stomach in that closet, man. We could hear it in the episode.
That wasn't even my stomach. I don't know what that was. My tummy didn't growl then.
So please go back through our feed and find all that content. And then very quickly, I'm just going to set up the show right off the bat, which is we're going to give you the typical what should win. That's just our opinion of what we think should win if we could decide what should win. Dave, do you got that?
I didn't. Why? Why did I do that wrong last year?
I think last year you said, I don't know. It doesn't matter. What should win is just our opinion.
Jeff did not let it go. Whatever you did.
Yeah.
Waited a year for this.
Guys, come on.
I just want to disappear out of my shot, run into his shot, punch him
in the face, then go back. So we're going to do what should win, what we think should win. If we could decide one vote, what would win? What we think will win, Like, what do we think the voters are going to choose? And then I'm going to do the Vegas odds again. So I went on Vegas Insider because DraftKings, the page stopped working. I don't know why, but so I'm going to give you what Las Vegas thinks. And I will say, stick around because sometimes with the award season, there's favorites. Like Daniel Day-Lewis won everything for There Will Be Blood. So by the time that, like, you knew he was going to win Best Actor. This year, there's no locks because even for Best Supporting Actress, the BAFTA went to somebody different than everybody than who won. I'm trying to be a little vague here without giving too much away, but like there are very few locks this year. Last year, Jane Campion was like such a lock for Best Director that it wasn't even worth it. But this year it's going to be competitive.
Do you have the list of like the Guild and other awards at hand right now, or should we each like have one ready to go so we can tell you who won what leading up to this?
Sure. Yeah, I remember most of them.
Do you
remember
really?
most of them. Yeah.
Cool. I'll grab the BAFTA if somebody wants to grab the SAG, and we'll just keep going so we can refer to them.
I have SAG in my head. We're good with SAG.
All right, I'm grabbing BAFTA, and we'll be ready to rock.
And then you know what else? I'll get DGA and PGA. Although I think I remember what won those. I think Top Gun won PGA, and DGA was I think really? Daniels.
Oh man! Speaking of, guys, did anybody watch? Did anybody watch Tom Cruise's PGA speech when he won this year? It was touching. It was he's what a grateful person. We all love giving Tom Cruise some shit for all his Tom Cruisiness throughout the years, but it was a great speech, and I was moved by it.
Did he thank the visual effects guys that they didn't use?
Steve!
Oh, come on, getting ahead of it here.
All right, you guys are doing great. I say we get in the episode. We should skip the gripes?
Yeah, we were bitter enough last week.
Well,
okay, go ahead.
We did have some fun ones, but I kind of want to hear. I feel like this is every week. I kind of look forward to you making some great observational humor.
We
I kind of want to hear what you got.
We want to see how Bitterness Rehab treated you. Are you better?
Oh yeah, I complained about the Mandalorian season 3 episode 1. Okay, very quickly, and then we're gonna get in. We're gonna start with actor and actress. So stick around, people.
By the way, last episode we played about 3 minutes of that. It was 8 minutes long.
Yeah, you didn't play my pirates bit. You killed one of my jokes. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, what's up with the pirates that need to drink in the school? And literally, we're like, we will die if we don't drink in this school. They fucking died because they couldn't drink in a school. It doesn't. Anyway, whatever.
Obviously, they're teachers.
These kids, lives up. Their teachers get Dave. Buzz, I'm on my gripe page. Okay, you have two choices in your gripes: my flying to Florida, just the flight, or podcast. Yeah, I'll do that one really quick. Okay, really quick. Give me the gripe timer. Can we please stop loading the plane front to back? It makes no fucking sense. I understand first class wants to sit, but if I were first class, I don't want to have to get there 45 minutes so that I sit first. I want to come in and make a late, people who fly private show up and then the plane takes off. Why do the first class go first? And I know it has two things. Number one, it's about status. So like if you're a gold member, you get to, whatever, you're like a whatever the fucking memberships are at these fucking flights, then you get to go first. But it makes no sense that there's a whole hold up at the front and then the back rows, there's nobody there. Second, everybody's always like, it's the overhead. I was on a Delta flight. There is so much overhead space. If you put the luggage sideways, every single row can have 3 suitcases. What happens is these motherfuckers put their suitcase 10 rows in front of their seat, which if you're doing the math, it means that someone like me has to have their bag 10 rows behind these fucking rows so that I have to wait for everybody to deboard to go backwards because these selfish pricks take up my fucking baggage zone. And so it takes 30 minutes to board, but it only takes 10 minutes to deboard. It's so stupid. Back to front.
I just all those poor bastards. I feel a little sorry for the people sitting in first class because, like, they've got on the plane and
exactly, and then they just watch people's crotches for the next 40 minutes.
Literally everyone's
their crotch level.
I don't know about you, but the first thing I check is, all right, which motherfucker's in first class? Am I meeting anyone famous today? Like they're sitting there like a zoo exhibit.
They are, exactly. Yeah. And they all have their drinks, and I want to like accidentally fall on them and like spill their drink on them while they're just sitting
just
so
reach
casually.
Down. Thanks, mate. Take it.
Or do that, yeah. What are they gonna do? Kick us off a plane? We're not Alec Baldwin. Why do I have a drink thing up? Okay.
No one's kicking Alec Baldwin off anything.
Not right now. We're staying away from him. I actually like Alec. Okay, here we go. Are you guys ready for our Academy Awards episode?
Yes.
All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Here we go. I know, we should have had a musical stinger. Let's.
I think we did.
All right, Dave, I'll let you set this up because you put the time in to get the slides. So what do we got first?
Well, we're starting with actor in a leading role.
All right. Nominees: Austin Butler, Elvis; Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin; Brendan Fraser, The Whale; Paul Mescal, After Sun; Bill Nighy, Living. That's the one we didn't see out of all of the acting nominations. I don't think we saw Living. He's not going to win, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was...
sorry. Harry's brilliant. He's a brilliant actor.
Yeah. He just
I feel it in my fingers.
All right, this is a three-person race. So I love Paul Mescal. He's not going to win. So it's a three-person race between Fraser, Farrell, and Austin Butler is the wild horse in this one. So, John, who should win? Who will win?
Well, let's give it up first. Let's go through the little things since we pulled them up. Austin Butler won this at the BAFTAs.
Yeah, weird, right? I mean,
and
great.
Who won? Right. Who won for SAG?
SAG was Brendan Fraser.
Was Brendan Fraser, right?
So not at all.
And the Golden Globes was Austin Butler for musical or for whatever. Maybe they were a drama for Elvis.
Never
and then
the Golden Globes.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah, Colin
Farrell and Austin Butler. So it's a three-person race. Yeah,
I'm going first with who I think will win.
Okay.
I think Brendan Fraser will win.
Okay.
And I think Austin Butler should not win, but I would not be surprised if he wins. I think both of my bets are on Brendan Fraser.
Okay.
But I would not be shocked based on just the year that we've had. If for some reason Austin Butler goes away with it, I don't think anybody should be like, what the fuck? I don't think it would be a crazy shock, even though I do think Brendan Fraser has the momentum, the campaign around him, and does have the performance that I think should grab it.
Yeah, Dave?
I'm Brendan Fraser as well.
Top to bottom?
Top to both? Yeah. Colin Farrell has a shoe-in in my opinion, but I feel like all the press and good feeling around like Brendan's renaissance is going to tip voters.
I think if I were to do this should win, will win, in my opinion, I would probably vote for Colin Farrell. And I don't know. It's not nothing against the other guys.
Win. No, that's the thing. There's nothing against any of these guys. They're all brilliant. This is a fucking hard category.
I think Brendan Fraser will win. And I think he's deserving of it. And but I also would not be surprised. It really is a three-person race. As according to the Vegas odds, Brendan Fraser is the favorite. He's giving 180, and Austin Butler is plus 120. That's really fucking close. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just the BAFTAs or what, but Las Vegas is they think Austin Butler could sneak in there and take this from Fraser. And I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm glad you said Colin, because I do just want to point out that these two, Austin Butler for Elvis and Brendan Fraser for The Whale, are two, like, I'm not saying anything negative about this at all, but they're obviously transformative hair and makeup, some period piece for some people, some really intense body transformation for the other. These are the kinds of roles that tend to attract the Academy. So for us all to agree that Colin Farrell was so good playing, yes, it was a period piece, but he wasn't going miles and miles away from what he naturally, this wasn't Colin Farrell nominated for the Penguin and the Batman. Right. This was him pretty much playing someone who's a little bit closer to who he moves and walks and talks like relative to these other gentlemen.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
That's pretty fucking impressive.
Those two roles happened in the same fucking year, like basically, like what a difference.
And he was just as transformative in this in terms of like owning who his character was and getting a strong point of view as I thought he was as the Penguin. I thought he was fantastic in Banshees. Jeff, is Banshees still kind of your sleeper? That might be one of your favorite movies, if not your favorite movie, walking away without giving us. Yeah,
it was still I also messed up earlier on, by the way. The Producers Guild Award and the DGA went to the Daniels for Everything Everywhere. So sorry, I made that mistake before. But yes, my favorite is still that, even though it's fucking darker at home than it was in the theater. In the theater, we were all laughing and having a good sweet time. It was still touching, but at home, it's fucking dark. I get it. But yeah, that has nothing to do with if it's going to win anything or not. But I feel like it's in contention for everything. It could be another Shawshank Redemption where it wins nothing, but is it like second place for everything? But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Moving on to actress in a leading role.
All right. Cate Blanchett, Tar, Ana de Armas, Blonde, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie is so fucking funny. Michelle Williams for The Fablemans, little category fraud, but in that direction, I'll give it to her. And Michelle Yeoh, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Dave, I saw you look for your buzzer. It's okay. You could let her rip if you want.
No.
But it's usually if category fraud for the supporting category drives me crazy. But if she wants to be a lead and they actually voted for her for a lead, even though she's very clearly a supporting actress,
We don't buzz category fraud on this show. We know that.
Who are you claiming is the category fraud? Michelle
Williams is a supporting actress, and she decided she wanted to be in the leading category, which is hilarious because she has no chance of winning this based on the two behemoth performances that are basically going to be. I think I haven't looked at the odds yet, but it's a 2-person race, So
yeah.
All right, Dave, John.
Which one? Who was the first? Was I first last time?
Yeah.
I'll go. I think I am voting for Cate Blanchett. I think it's one of those performances where, as inconvenient as it is for everybody else, that she's the kind of actor that tends to get those kinds of roles. And when she pulls them off, which she does every time, they're just indisputably, objectively brilliant and on a whole other level. This is another one of those times. It's not a high concept piece, which is why I am choosing, and you might hear that theme while we go through this list a few times. I think Michelle Yeoh will win. I understand why she should win. And there are other movies that Michelle Yeoh has been in the past that I would absolutely have wanted her to get more acclaim for. So I'm not saying it's just because it's her time. This is a great role, and she's really, really incredible in it. But kind of what I was just saying about Colin Farrell, there is a high concept and enormous amounts of filmmaking and visual effects and stunts that are going into what is making Michelle Yeoh's character so incredible to watch in the context of the film. Cate Blanchett is sitting in static shots for long takes, just acting her fucking ass off and taking us on this crazy ride. So if I'm just talking about the work, I'm going for Cate, but I think Michelle's going to win, and I'll have a smile on my face when she does. I love her work so much.
Fuck yeah. Dave?
Sorry. My vote would go to Michelle Yeoh. Nice. Absolutely. Even before the visual effects kicked in, she was something you couldn't miss on screen. It was a fantastic performance from top to tail, even when the effects pulled away and you got, just the bare bones acting. I think the award's going to go to Cate Blanchett, though.
Great,
to be honest, because when I saw Tar, I thought she was playing a real person.
Right.
I didn't say it. And she got the BAFTA. I forgot to mention that. And who won the SAG award?
Michelle Yeoh won the SAG.
This one might be too close to call. I mean, the only thing that's a certainty is Ana de Armas is nowhere fucking near it.
So this is funny. Well, there's Dave's pick. First of all, Andrea Riseborough also has no chance in this for sure. No disrespect to her, because I'm sure it's great. But we don't have time on the podcast to talk about this scandal. But just if you want to have some fun and you're listening to this or watching this, just type in Andrea Riseborough scandal or Andrea Riseborough campaign, and you'll see it's actually really clever. So there's no shame in what happened, but let's just say the wife of the director did some weird shit and got some celebrities to Fire Festival the fuck out of this campaign and got Edward Norton and all these people to promote this. It was the most strange campaign. It's not the old days of whining and dining people. It was literally just vote, share, they tweet that this is the best movie ever.
Yeah, she literally asked them to go and see the movie and tell everyone about it.
That's it. And they had parties. Yeah, they had campaign parties without showing the movie.
A whisper campaign, if you will.
It was loud though. And then Michelle Williams we talked about. I'll say this about Ana de Armas, and I get it, but a lot of it's a polarizing film. I'm very impressed, and I'm happy that she's getting this recognition.
Me too.
Even though yes, Viola Davis and I'm not too familiar with Till. That was a week that I think we were off the week that Till came out, unfortunately, so we didn't get to see that. But I know there were great performances that could have easily been on here, but I thought Ana de Armas did a very surprising job, and I think she did what she wanted to do. I think that's important. And whether she had the screen prowess of Marilyn Monroe doesn't matter to me. I don't think that's what this movie. A lot of people were like, she didn't have the bravado. It's it's not really what the movie was. But anyway, it's polarizing, so we'll stay away from that.
She was brilliant.
Yeah, I think so too. It blew me away. Anyway, Cate Blanchett, Michelle Yeoh. I think Cate Blanchett should, and I think Michelle Yeoh would. But honestly, I could flip that tomorrow. It's there. They are such a toss up in my head. I do think that when you're Cate Blanchett, she's in the Meryl Streep situation where it's it has to be the career performance. When you have 2 Oscars, I think that they do care about that. This is not the Grammys where they just throw Grammys out for people. They care about that. Michelle Yeoh has none. This is her first nomination. Cate Blanchett has 2 and a whole bunch of nominations. But this really is This is like a career-defining performance for Cate Blanchett. This is not a character like Blue Jasmine where she's playing somebody who's basically depressed, and this is not.
It's a career-defining performance of a character a lot of people seem to hate. I don't know whether you've seen the hate that's going around for this.
And
some people thought it was real, didn't bother to do the research, and are now bagging the shit out of a fictional person on the internet. Yeah,
fucking stupid people.
Yeah,
dude.
fucking stupid people.
The only ranked choice voting is in Best Picture, meaning you get first, second, and third. I think if this was ranked choice voting, I think there's no question that Michelle Yeoh would win because of things like that. I think there's some people that avoid Cate Blanchett, but I think a lot of people would put Cate Blanchett first because this is wild. Anyway, that's what I think, and I think that I'll be very happy when Michelle Yeoh wins. It is according to this website, it is basically a dead tie between the two of them. It's 125 to 115. It's a dead tie. So that's going to be
not
exciting.
A lot for your money there.
All right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Animated feature film.
Oi.
Yeah.
This one might actually be a lock. Let's see. So Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. We have Marcel the Shell with shoes on, which I just saw on the plane, by the way. I just saw that this past week.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red, the Disney Pixar.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure for first time in a long time we can discount Pixar.
Yeah, but the kids loved Turning Red when it came out. I didn't know anybody saw it, but some of the kids
they did,
yeah.
But only 2 of those kids are Academy voters.
You guys, I'm going to be totally honest. I haven't seen any of these. I still haven't watched Pinocchio. I didn't watch Puss in Boots. I haven't seen Marcel the Shell. So all I'm going to just contribute to this is that the Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won at the BAFTAs. And I feel like I've heard more people talking about that in the serious way that they kind of talk about that tangential category animated feature. So I'm assuming that one's going to win.
Dave?
I've heard buzz for Marcel the Shell as well. I didn't mean to go Dr. Seuss just then. Sorry. But I think Pinocchio is going to take this. And having seen how it was created and the combination of filmmaking techniques they used to do it, holy crap. Yeah. I feel like this deserves an Oscar win.
I started it and I didn't not finish it because I didn't like it. I forget what I was doing, but it does look brilliant. Marcel the Shell is fun, but it's sort of like a mockumentary animated film, which is really fun. And it has some, it's not all animated. Puss in Boots I hear is fun. It's just it's just not gonna happen.
I heard it was good.
I heard it was good. It's gonna be Pinocchio for sure. And the Vegas odds are and they also won at the Producers Guild. They won at the Producers 1-1. It's like you lose.
If it wins, you owe them money.
Right. Yeah. Well, they do essentially have that, and that's basically what it is. It's like I don't even know how to calculate these. He's giving 2,000, which means if you bet $2,000, you win 100.
Wow.
So if you bet $2,000, you get 2,100. It's gonna be Pinocchio. Marcel the Shell is second.
That's I think they're on point there.
All right, keep going.
All right. Costume design.
Fun.
Costume design.
Yeah, we mixed them up a little bit. These are not in order of show or alphabetical. We just we put some big ones at the start to hook you, and then we put some other big ones at the end to keep you around.
All right. So we have
don't
Babylon.
Skip to the end. There's some in the middle too, so you'll fucking miss them.
Babylon, Black Panther, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. So we saw all of these people. We saw them all. Thank you, Mrs. Harris. Fuck yeah, that was fun. All right, John.
I'll start by saying at the BAFTAs, Miss Catherine Martin took it for Elvis, not her first time being this acclaimed for all of the costumes and all of her films. Man, this one was kind of tough. I think I ended up voting for Babylon just because I thought it might be the only thing it takes away, and I thought that film was very, very effective. I do think that film was good. I think in the pantheon of his work, when we're watching it much later on, we're going to be like, that was another brilliant piece of work. It was just a crazy year, and it was a crazy time. The release was not the right time, and out of all the things that did end up not like really slam dunking for me in the last half of this film, the costumes were enjoyable the entire time. I feel like I had fun kind of revisiting the way that they the way that they dressed everybody. And I also thought it was kind of risky that they ended up going for the, such a debaucherous route with the opening. And so I'm going for that. But I think Elvis will win. And I think it's magnificent as well. And, a good period piece like that gets a lot of acclaim for the storytelling more than a movie like Babylon that kind of got shit on. I think Elvis is probably going to take it. And she's fucking brilliant. So let her have it.
Dave?
I think Wakanda Forever's in with a shot on this. Because you had two very distinct cultural races in that, and they developed a very independent look for both of them. I guess it was kind of Aztec, look for like all of the undersea population. Namor.
Yeah.
That was like, especially when he floats down and they put the full head on him and everything and stuff like that. I feel like they're in with a shot. So that's who I think they're going to take it, to be honest.
All right. Good. Yeah, the little research I had done on this is, first of all, period pieces usually win. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is a sweet film. It's about a woman who goes to Paris to buy a dress from...
I was so pleasantly surprised by that film.
Dior. Where was it? Where the fuck who was the designer?
Dior, right?
I think it was
Dior.
Dior. Yeah, I can't remember, but it was sweet as fuck. It was a great film.
Perfume? Oh fuck, man, we don't know. We saw it in the summer. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I don't think is going to win, even though it's fantastic. Ruth Carter for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She won for the first film, and she was the first ever African American costume designer to win in this category. So that is something that could be in the Lord of the Rings category, where they didn't really repeat the same winners, like cinematographer won for the first Lord of the Rings and not the second or third, even though I thought the cinematography improved in that series. But anyway, I also agree that Babylon was fantastic, and it was very of the period, and I'm going to be kinder to it in the future than I was when I saw it in the theater and then on our podcast. I'm not going to be as bummed about the story when I see the sequences and remind the movies of all, but I think it's going to be Elvis. I think.
Wait, you're watching that again?
No, buzz yourself. Yeah. I don't have it open. As of Vegas, again, this is Vegas Insider, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Elvis are a dead tie. So there you go.
Nice.
Cool.
Speaking of, since you mentioned it, they are re-releasing Return of the King for its 20th anniversary for a limited release. So everybody should go watch fucking Lord of the Rings on the big screen.
Oh my God.
I wish they would go 1, 2, 3. I wish they would do all 3 of them in like a few days, just give you the marathons, but it's just Return of the King.
One per day, because they're fucking 47 hours long.
I'm so
a friend of mine went to fellowship with the live orchestra and the choir recently, and I was so fucking jealous.
Did they do it at Lincoln Center again?
It wasn't at Lincoln Center. It was at it was at the Geffen Hall, I think, or something.
Yeah, David Geffen Hall. Yeah, that's where they do this. Man. Damn.
Okay. Dave, let's keep moving. Thanks.
Actress in a supporting role.
Okay, so this you would have thought there was a lock for this, but the BAFTA shook things up. So Angela Bassett, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Hong Chow. We are a Hong Chow fucking stans here on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
For The Whale. Shout out to the Menu, too. But just fuck yeah, Hong Chow. Go get him.
Yeah.
And the theater actress from New York. Come on.
Yeah.
I love... England always has the people... It's like, well, Paul Mescal was in theater, and it's like, what? We never have that in America. I love when a theater actor is now all of a sudden a movie star. I fucking love that. Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin.
I love that happened.
Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere.
So Carrie Condon won at the BAFTAs. That's what you were referring to, right?
Yeah, and I believe Angela Bassett won everything else. Except at the SAG Awards, Jamie Lee Curtis won, which was very interesting for a lot of people. But people, SAG also supports their own, right? So she's been a SAG member for like 40 years.
I mean, she's great in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but she's not a shining moment, is she?
I didn't realize it was her for the first few minutes when she was on screen.
Me neither.
So I want to give that up for her. I remember thinking,
that's great. Yeah,
that's pretty. Is that fucking Jamie Lee Curtis? But
yeah, but don't get me wrong, she was fantastic. But
it looks like
when you put her up against like Hong Chow, who like turned out that completely different performance to what she put out in The Menu in The Whale.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, you want to go first? Is Hong Chow your pick?
It should win. You can pick whoever you want for should win, and then will win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel okay. Well, I feel like see this one I'm stuck because I want Stephanie Shu to go.
Yeah.
But I feel like Angela Bassett's going to take it.
That's okay, but that's why we have the two different subcategories.
But I also want Hong Chao to
here.
I want Hong Chao in there somewhere as well. So
just say if you could vote, you would vote for Hong Chao.
No, I don't think I would, but I'm acknowledging that it's a fucking fantastic performance. I'm so confused.
All right, year two.
But you would vote for Angela Bassett. I think this is our third year during the show, but anyway, you would vote for Angela Bassett.
Yeah, I think so. Well, no, I would.
You'd vote for Angela Bassett. All right,
John.
I'm going Hong Chao. That's my pick if I was voting. Again, kind of a theme that's running through this whole thing for me. I just felt like that was such a realistic performance. There was not the concept around it. There was not an enormous amount of production design or filmmaking, all these crazy things that can elevate a really great character.
Yeah, but straight balls to the walls acting.
It was just the fucking work in one fucking room. And I guess in two rooms, including the little balcony when she has that cigarette scene with Dude, which was brilliant. So I'm going with her, but I think Angela Bassett's going to win. And that's fine. That's great. She did a good job.
It would be the first obviously it would be the first Marvel win. Is it the first Marvel performance even nominated? It should have been Tony. It should have been Tony Leung.
Wasn't Black Panther nominated for Best Picture?
No, I mean for acting categories.
Oh, for acting? Yeah, I think probably.
It should have been Tony Leung.
Acting's not their strong point.
No, it's Tony Leung, people. Tony Leung. If Stephanie Shu or Hong Chao wins, it would be 4 different people who won 4 different major awards. So that would be really fun, just so you know. Angela Bassett is a legend. Oh my God, she's so fucking great. And she really, when we saw this, we knew, we were like, holy shit. And they gave her the monologue early on, right at the I don't know, what do you call the nations with the fucking, all they do is talk about the Sokovia shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the UN? Yeah.
Probably.
She's amazing. She's amazing. You know me, man. You know who I'd be voting for.
There's a room full of like people sitting around talking.
I fucking love Hong Chao and the Whale. I really do. But you know who I'm voting for. I would vote for Carrie Condon in a second. And I think that when we,
that's the thing. Every performance on this list, possibly, like I love Jamie Lee Curtis's performance, but every single other performance on this list was above and beyond exceptional.
Well, dude, I'm watching Better Call Saul right now, and Carrie, I didn't realize she was on that show. She plays Mike's daughter-in-law.
And when she was 18, she was cast in the original Lieutenant of Inishmore, which is Martin McDonagh's play, and she's been working for 20 years. You just haven't seen her or haven't noticed her, as we're just talking about. The things in the movie that people are going to remember is her standing up to Brendan Gleeson and, that kind of stuff. But actually the things that crushed me, and there's always one, I just want to say, an award show. I love the award shows. There's always one. The grandma from Minari comes to mind of recent memory. There's always one subtle performance that wins a supporting category. Not both necessarily. You'll have your Javier Bardems win supporting categories. You'll have your fucking Brad Pitt category fraud. But you'll have Carrie Condon, the moments that really make this worthy, because she very well could win, by the way. I know Angela Bassett is probably the favorite. I haven't looked, but Carrie Condon very well could win, and she deserved that BAFTA. It's the moments when Brendan Gleeson goes, "He's dull, Siobhan," and she looks at him and she's just like, "What?" And you realize she knows he's kind of right. And then later, and then he's like, "She's dull," and he's like, But he's always been dull. Like that. Yeah. Those are the moments.
That's not the point.
He hasn't changed. You have.
He's like, that's not the point. And he goes, maybe I have. And she's just like she's lost. She thought she had him wrapped around her fingertip, and like to let him win, to let Brendan Gleeson have that, and then but still keep fighting. That's the kind of shit for me. It's the don't you ever get lonely, and the way she turns down Barry Keoghan. Like those are the moments for me that I'm like, that is perfect. We don't need a big boisterous role like the Angela Bassett. So they're very different roles, but I think Angela Bassett will win. That's what I think.
Moving on.
And even wait. The Vegas odds. Even more
Vegas odds, yeah.
Even more to your point about if we're talking about the subtlety versus if I was saying on the one end we have extreme costume design, production, all that stuff. Even Hong Chao's interpretation of that character in The Whale, she came in pretty fiery in most scenes. So Carrie Condon's performance was more subtle and was a little bit more day-to-day kind of living with around this person, as opposed to Hong Xiao, who was
had the moments,
really hot in those things.
She had her feisty moments, but for the majority of the performance, I mean, the one scene with Barry Keoghan was she essentially said one word, which was
I know, yeah. It's just
so Angela Bassett
that was heartbreaking, that whole fucking scene.
And Angela Bassett's the favorite, but not by much. This is plus 130 for Angela Bassett, plus 165 for Jamie Lee Curtis, plus 175 for Kerry Condon. So they're all pretty close to each other. It's sort of a three-person race with a slight edge to Angela Bassett. So if I'm doing the odds, it's like 40% Angela Bassett, 35%. Those numbers don't add up. 30% to Jamie Lee Curtis and Kerry Condon. It's really close for this category. So another really exciting, race to the finish. Thank you, Dave.
All right. Speaking of Barry Keoghan, actor in a supporting role.
Brendan Gleeson, Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry kind of came out of nowhere with Causeway, but I think everybody's pretty happy about that. We're pretty happy about him. But the Jennifer Lawrence movie that's on Apple TV Plus. Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans in a one-scene cameo performance. Barry Keoghan for Banshees, and Ke Huy Quan. I think it's Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those are your 5 nominees. John, what you got?
Brendan won. Barry Keoghan won at the BAFTAs.
He barely spoke. He was so surprised. He had like a 30-second speech. He should win an Oscar just because his speech is 30 seconds.
The only shortest speech of the Oscars was Anthony Hopkins.
And I think either the shortest or the second shortest is Joe Pesci. His is the best.
No, I'm talking about the year where he went to bed and didn't turn up to this show.
He sent a video.
Getting buzzed? No, he didn't. They wouldn't let him.
Oh yeah, because of COVID. Yeah. He was like, very nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was the year they thought it was going to be a posthumous award.
Did he pre-record? I can't remember if he pre-recorded. No, I thought it was sunny out.
No, because they announced it and they're like, oh, he's not here, and because everyone thought that what's his? It's gone.
I thought he did send a video.
It's a different category. He definitely was there.
They saved it for last.
Joaquin. It was Joaquin. Joaquin Phoenix.
No, This was the year that
Joaquin introduced the award, and because everybody thought it was going to go to Chadwick, but it ended up going to Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't there, and then they put that last instead of Best Picture.
Yes,
so they fucked up. Okay,
they really fucked up.
Proof that they really don't know who won. Proof they don't know until they open that envelope. Because even Joaquin Phoenix was like, "Well, this is weird."
I think we proved that with Moonlight.
Well, yeah, exactly. That does again, Dave.
Oh, come on,
Dave. I want you drunk. Okay, you took the week off, John. This is another fucking heated battle, I thought.
Yeah. This is a big toss-up. Barry Keoghan won at BAFTAs, like I said. Who won at SAG?
SAG was Ke Huy Quan.
Quan. Yeah. Okay, so this is a crazy year. So let me divide it up this way. If we were going with you have one scene to make your difference, Judd Hirsch takes it from me. I feel like that little sequence of The Fabelmans was absolutely incredible. It was it was one of those times in film history where you see somebody and like, yeah, I guess we should nominate him for supporting, even though he's in one scene. He comes and just tears the house down and then he walks away. My actual, what I probably would end up voting for, who I would end up voting for, is Mr. Brendan Gleeson. Not an unacclaimed person, not someone who it's their due necessarily, but I don't think we have given enough credit over the course of, the past 4 or 5 months since people have started watching this movie to how strange that character's point of view is.
Yeah.
And how effortless he made it.
Yeah, that's it.
It allows us the absurdity. It gives us the problem because he's so fucking believable in what he's doing and how he arrived there. And it takes a real understanding of the craft and trust in your director and trust in yourself. And I just think he's just one of the best of all time. And this is just one of those examples. Sure.
Yeah, the gush alarm. John's getting played off.
He's not wrong. He's absolutely not wrong. Like this man managed to convince us that he was suffering from a mental illness without a single mention of mental illness.
Mental illness. He seemed completely sane to me. But
he was the despair.
Right, well, there you go.
The despair,
the depression. Yeah. But, I mean, I think it's worse than that. He was cutting his fucking finger, and we didn't. I know what you mean. We didn't really have to talk about that. It didn't get discussed anyway.
Oh, your four-finger friend.
Yeah. He's just so incredible. I think Ke Huy Quan is going to win. I think it's his year. And welcome back, dude. Whatever. It's great. We've seen Brendan churn out a million performances. I'm happy that Ke Huy Quan is getting his due, man. I think he's going to win it.
It was great. Dave?
I just want to say, Ke Huy Quan has run the sneakiest fucking campaign ever. It's like, hey,
sneaky?
Yeah, I'm the nicest fucking guy in the world. Why wouldn't you vote for me?
Because he is the nicest guy in the world.
He is. And I mean, from a
did y'all know he went to USC film school?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm just gonna start buzzing John every time he mentions USC.
I listen to that pod.
No,
it's never going to stop.
So did half of the technical categories, John.
Yeah, I think he's going to pull this one as well.
Yeah.
To be honest,
is that who you'd vote for? Who would you, if you had a vote, you could vote for anybody? Who'd you vote for? Would you vote for him?
I would sit there for a week fucking thinking about it.
That's the gig, man. Yeah, if you're in the Academy, that's the gig.
But it'd be like either Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, or Ke Huy Quan, and I think, he's going to pip it, and I think I would vote for him.
I'm with you.
I mean, I definitely vote for him.
I did not see Causeway. Brian Tyree.
Yeah. Nobody. Henry not a lot of people did.
We've done him wrong. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he was great in Bullet Train, I thought, but
He was.
The problem with the campaign is sometimes it feels like voting for a third-party candidate when you want to vote for somebody who's not going to win. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who are like, well, fuck it, I'm going to vote for whoever I want to. I get one vote, I'm going to vote for them. But then sometimes if you sit there and you go, well, Barry Keoghan has some momentum, so is it a two-person race between Ke Huy Quan? Who do you vote for? So what I would say is if I had a vote, I would vote for Brendan Gleeson for all the reasons John said, to a T, exactly the same thing. So I'm not going to add to it. I just think it takes somebody who is real class, but also real humility to play the role that way. He could have easily hammed up some of those scenes. It was so believable that essentially it knocked the other. There are 4 people nominated, and I'm going to say it, and it sounds crazy. It might sound crazy. I think there are 4 people are nominated because of him, because he gave them something, and all they could do is just fucking bounce off of it because he was so sure of himself.
Yeah.
He was so sure that if you're Colin Farrell, if you're Barry Keoghan, who's just playing off Colin Farrell, if you're Kerry Condon, you are just like, you look at him and you go...
When you look at it, though, like, is that the only movie that everyone is fucking nominated? Like, I know Everything Everywhere has a lot, but like, is it just everyone's fucking nominated?
Yes. I mean, they both have 4. They both have 4, but yeah.
Sorry, I was typing there for a second, but Jeff, do you know what I mean when I say if we would have... I'm glad it's not a stage play. I'm glad it's a film. But it just in the acting community, just talking about performances that influence us over time, things that simmer beneath that we talk about over and over and over again. What Brendan Gleeson did in this film makes me think of the way that you still hear people talk about someone like Lorette Taylor in Glass Menagerie. Like, it was so subtle and in some ways, and so specific in other ways, that it's the kind of work that I think maybe somebody who isn't like a really fan of acting or an actor themselves wouldn't realize how difficult it is to do.
Yeah.
But the acting community probably looks at that and they're just like, that is an A+ performance. Yeah. And no one that doesn't have that kind of capacity and talent and craftsmanship could ever pull. You couldn't accidentally do that performance well.
Yeah, I know when they're whining and dining at all these luncheons, they're going up to everybody. They're going, "Oh my God, great job, Colin Farrell! What a performance!" Yeah, and they're going to Brendan Gleeson, and it is, wow, man, that was fucking great. That was
fucking crazy.
So anyway,
dude.
I think
you were fucking terrifying.
I think Ke Huy Quan win. I think Ke Huy Quan will win. He had to play a lot of different roles. He redefined masculinity for some of the roles because they're all husband roles. All of the different multiverses he's in, he's the husband, and they're all different kinds of husband, and none of them are John Wayne. Except for one, yeah. So I think he is a very deserving winner of this award, and I think he will win.
I think for me, for Ke Huy Quan, I just want to mention this. I wasn't ready to say that about him until it got to the future where he was successful and had a lot of poise.
Yeah. And
I was like, oh my. That scene in the alley after the award ceremony where he's like, really, his voice drops.
Yeah.
Still, he's got a lot of confidence. I was like, there you go. And I know he probably enjoyed getting to play against type because he tends to, I think he is probably the really happy guy who lives in most of the rest of the film. But it wasn't the transformation to the evil version of him that got me. It was that very adult, mature version of him.
When he pulled out the "In Another Life, I'd love to do laundry with you," I was like, Forget her.
Yeah.
Forget her. Marry me.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's not take it. I mean, just like with Brendan Gleeson, that is what you just said. That is a fantastic line. That's the kind of line when an actor's looking at their script, they're like, "Oh yeah, just get out of the way of that line. Don't even act
His
it."
Oscar clip is going to be just that line.
He really did the best campaign of all time too. Did you know he barely made any money on this because he spent so much money on the movement coach for, I believe, I Tanya. I believe it was Margot Robbie's movement coach. He was like, "I'm hiring her. I don't give a fuck." And he said they're very expensive, and I did not get paid a lot for this movie, but it was worth it. So Ki Kwan is almost a lock. Vegas, he's giving 2,000, which means he's basically a lock according to Vegas. That doesn't mean that he's not. That doesn't mean he's going to win. But he's very
also
good.
Good for him.
Can I just point out how much time we just spent on the actor in a supporting role category?
And actress in a supporting role.
actress in a supporting role. It's like
there are more supporting roles than leading roles every year. So this category, even though we love the leading roles, Kate Blanchett, how many people could possibly do the movie? Michelle Yeoh, how many people could possibly lead that movie? But every year there's hundreds, if not thousands, of supporting roles that could be up for this. So
Jeff, I did want to just before we leave it, since we've talked about this on so many of our episodes, you didn't bring it up once, so I assume you're not distracted by it and you don't think it qualifies. For me, Brendan Gleeson as a supporting actor is not category fraud.
No, it's not. It's not.
I think some people would say, well, he's in so much of it, though.
Yeah, different.
Okay, good. I agree. I don't think he is either. I'm glad you agree.
Think about this. The other people nominated, Carrie Condon, Colin Farrell's sister. Almost all of her scenes are with Colin Farrell. And even the Brendan Gleeson scenes are usually in response to a Colin Farrell scene. And then Barry Keoghan barely interacts with, right? So everybody is bouncing around Colin Farrell. So that's why.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Let's do it.
Editing.
Big one.
Yeah, what a weird award. It's just
it's
the further I get in my film career, you guys, the more this is strange that it is considered not directing and not like it is all like this is all.
Hey, you know what? At least
who did what the director told them to do the best.
You know what? At least it's making the show this year.
Sure. Oh, yeah, I am definitely no. I am not saying that we should not give it up for editors. We should give it up for editors.
Whose director gave the best notes? So we have Banshees of Inisherin.
There is kind of like no. If you get a good editor, you can just hand that off for the offline edit, and
the Star Wars is the best. That's the best of all time. Well, the way that Star Wars saved it.
That's what I was about to say. But that's exactly what I was about to say. A lot of times, unless you hear that behind the scenes, this was not how the script was intended to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
And they end up doing something really amazing with structure and sequencing and pacing. If it's not that, then it is a little bit different for me. But don't get me wrong, editing
I say it all the time.
That is where you make the movie, folks. That is when it actually happens.
I've got enough audio of you guys to fucking get you cancelled. I can make you say anything I want. Come on.
Of course you can.
You just said you were going to get us canceled. I say this all the time. YouTube, how editing saved Star Wars. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And
look that up.
Marsha Lucas, George Lucas's ex-wife, came in and literally, and this is with film where you had to cut. They literally created scenes out of nothing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Banshees of Inisherin.
recut the whole ending.
Elvis. She created the ending. Elvis. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Tar. I'm sorry, were there like 20-minute wonders in this? Tar is not winning Best Film Editing.
You're right.
And then, how is this nominated for Best Editing?
It might win least cuts.
They won. Yeah, they won. They were like, how about this? How about this? We won because we chose not to cut. Oh, yeah. I want to be in that pitch meeting. How drunk did they get those people who voted?
Existential.
Okay, hold on. Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and Top Gun. Those are your choices. Early on, we would have said Top Gun, right? And then Everything Everywhere. It's like, well, this is getting momentum. And then you see Elvis with all of the flash cuts going everywhere, and then Banshees. And how is which we haven't even mentioned once yet. How is fucking what is the movie called? The All Quiet on the Western Front. How is that nominated for film editing? But Tar is.
Yeah.
John, what do you think? Should win, will win?
Everything ever. All Quiet was submitted as a foreign film.
Also, but it has what 9 nominations?
Yeah, but still, they get hobbled.
Oh, because they edited it in German. They're worse than Tar.
Yeah, well, they probably watched the English dub.
Dave, you are begging to be buzzed. Thank you for getting our buzz count up.
He's thirsty.
This also
are hungry.
This, of course, as everybody knows, has the biggest.
What movies that from?
Turner and
come
Hooch.
on.
I don't know.
Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. I don't.
Dark Knight. It's the opening. Remember the guy in the parking lot?
Oh yeah.
All right,
keep going.
This and
forgot
Best
about the Dark
Picture
Knight.
tend to go together, but whatever. I mean, the past couple of years directing, but whatever. John, what do you think?
BAFTA winner was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I have been saying the entire year, if they don't win that, then I was going to be frustrated. I know when I walked out of there, I was like, that is what they should win for. Because there are so many incredible other brilliant uses of visual effects, brilliant uses of special effects, practical effects with their stunt work. But I think it is the ebb and flow. They prove that with proper editing, you can, are you listening, Marvel? You can create an excellent multiverse using more, sure.
I'm not saying I don't agree with you.
Most people who've seen this said they did multiverse better.
Yeah. So I think it's, for me, it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. I also think it's going to win, but I also put down that I would not be shocked if Elvis won because, as Dave and I said when Jeff, you were here with us, that I always, you have to be a fan of his work, but I always feel like Baz Luhrmann's movies are on a whole other level with the way he conceives structure and editing specifically. And I think this may be the best example of what his purest voice is. So I wouldn't be surprised if Elvis won, even though I bet the odds are in Everything Everywhere's favor.
Baz just walks into the editing room and goes, here, put this under your tongue for a minute. And just comes out. It's
unbelievable.
Strap yourself in. We're on a trip.
Dave?
I mean...
Now, I do want to say really quickly, though, what we were talking about at the beginning of this category, both of those movies, I would be very surprised if they were not carefully conceived with these kinds of edits. So this also isn't one of those movies where we were talking about where Marshall Lucas comes in and says, what if we do this? And Everything Everywhere All at Once was one long linear thing. And they were like, no, let's put in all these quick cuts. I bet that did not happen. I bet it was conceived in the pre-production. So I bet it was not painting by numbers, but I bet they knew what they were trying to do with these sequences.
You guys saw that meme I sent you where it was the entire timeline for Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yeah.
That was
I'm sure all of his movies send their timelines. What do you think, Dave?
I think it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, even just for that last multiverse sequence where it just bounces through so many things, but
pretty fucking
it's
crazy.
Edited so well. You because the human brain from the eye to the brain takes like 2 seconds to register something, and they carefully timed everything so you didn't miss a shot.
And is that who you would vote for if you had a vote?
Yes.
Yeah. Early in the summer, I would have said Top Gun because I was just the flying sequences. I know, but it was all for dramatic purposes. It wasn't just for shock and for adrenaline and such. Like I really thought, even the Val Kilmer scene, I thought had like the perfect touch to it. They could have been more, could have been less, and so all these things could have been directed too. So it's tricky, but I think I would vote for Everything Everywhere, and I think it would win. And the Vegas odds,
Jeff, it's funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say the Vegas odds first, and then I'll tell you a little anecdote.
So Everything Everywhere at Once is favorited. It's giving 195, but Top Gun is plus 175. So that's close enough. Close enough. That's in the zone.
It's up there.
I have a friend at school who is a real movie snob, and we were just chit-chatting about this the other day. And
what school is that?
Generally speaking, I don't know if you can see my sweatshirt, but
Hey, you wore the Elon sweatshirt the other day, but thanks for putting that in the frame.
By the way, Jeff and I went to Elon University. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, that's a real fucking school. Everybody keeps coming up to me and asking me if I'm satirizing Mr. Musk's dilemma, and I feel like I can't wear that sweatshirt anymore. Everybody was like, "What is that? Are you?" They wouldn't let it go. They were like pointing and laughing at me because they thought it was a joke.
John, today was Elon Day.
Anyway. Today was Elon Day. Yes, I got hit up for a bunch of money that I don't have. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say, my friend said, we watched all these, of course, and he was like, I went back and watched Top Gun, and he said, if I'm being fucking honest, when I watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, and everyone has kind of agreed with this, the three of us kind of agreed with this too, if we're being honest, you guys, there are sequences in the last 30 minutes that drag, where they don't quite stick.
That's what I said,
landing.
and you guys got mad at me for I said that.
No. I think I agree with you that like there were some of that last sequence at The Rock goes on a little too long. I think going up the stairs is a breathtaking sequence, but it could have been condensed a little bit. He was just making the point that on my rewatches, I rewatched Top Gun, and it's fucking perfect. The pacing is perfect. from like there isn't a moment in that film where you're thinking, is this dragging? And that might be what editing actually is, so that you never have a moment to start thinking about the film.
And also, if you're voting,
I should point out I was on vacation when Top Gun came out, and I still haven't seen it.
Dave!
Oh, Dave, you're gonna love it so much, dude. You missed it in theaters?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, you're gonna be so mad at yourself.
It re-released. I'm spiking my microphone so bad, Dave. I don't give a shit.
Oh, Dave, go watch it. God, I wish I was in New York so we could go see it together.
Guys, in hindsight, yeah, I did say that about everywhere. I was like, it did drag at the end. And Top Gun, man, God, it was edited perfectly. God damn it.
Boom. He's
and
the
also,
fastest man alive.
if you're voting after seeing All Quiet and after seeing Avatar, Top Gun might not win anything. So if I'm voting, and this is crazy, but voters think this way, this could be the only award that Top Gun wins. It's not winning visual effects. It might win sound, but All Quiet might win sound. We'll get there soon, but like, I don't know. So
yeah,
does everything deserve 10 awards and Top Gun 0, or is, I don't know.
I've noticed this. The Academy tends to treat sound design as the like participation trophy.
Well, that's not sometimes not entirely true. Hacksaw Ridge did it one time,
because they don't know anything about it, so they just like, oh yeah, we'll give this that. Like the action film.
No, because only people in that category can vote for it. Actors don't vote for sound. Only sound engineers do. All right,
Thank
John.
God. Jesus Christ.
I
do just want to point out that while Everything Everywhere is incredibly entertaining and obviously had a lot of a commercial appeal, what have we been chit-chatting about? Marshall Lucas and Star Wars, a Top Gun, those kinds of movies, those very giant, wide audience appeal, commercial, when they transcend to that next level where something is so commercially appealing and artistically satisfying that people can't help but say, was that a great movie? Like Nolan's Batman's, like some of the early Star Wars. And that is when you have to ask yourself, is the editing part of why those things are so important? When you get past that place where you're just feeling like you're entertained and you're a little cheesed out. I don't know. I just thought it was worth mentioning that we were talking about Marcia and a giant popular commercial epic like Star Wars. Top Gun kind of became that for us this summer, didn't it? It really blew everybody away. It made us want to go to the theaters again. So if it won for this, I hope everybody would just say, congratulations.
I think they know. I think they all liked. I think everybody.
There's enough likability in this entire list for me to go, you know what? Great.
Good point. We're not even talking about honestly, Banshees is number 3 in Vegas, and those kinds of movies. That's like a Brokeback kind of thing, where which one best film editing? It's like it's paced well. Some people might say it's slow. Some people might say it's dark, but paced well. All right, sorry, Dave. Next one.
Cut away at just the right time.
Dave.
All right. What?
Next one.
Buzz.
Dave, we're gonna Dave drunk. He's home to take care of his wife, just fucking drunk on 9% beer. All right, I haven't seen any of these.
Documentary feature film.
John, you're the documentary expert here. We got all that breeze, all the beauty and the bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and then Navalny. I know Navalny won the DGA, or is it the PGA? It won one of the GAs.
It won the BAFTA as well.
All right, well, that sounds
and you know
like...
what? I did not see that. The only two that I've seen out of this list are All the Beauty and the Bloodshed and Fire of Love.
I'm going to throw down for Fire of Love.
All right, totally, sure. That was a really cool take. This couple, they're volcanologists. A lot of footage that they took of themselves over their very long, illustrious, crazy
they live
careers.
long and prosper.
Wait, which movie are you talking about? Fire of Love?
Fire of Love.
Okay, that won DGA.
Yeah.
That won DGA.
PGA was Navalny, but DGA was Fire of Love.
Okay, so PGA and BAFTA gave it to Navalny. DGA was Fire of Love.
Sarah Dosha.
I'm going to be totally satisfied if Fire of Love wins. I was really, really, really blown away by it. But I saw All the Beauty and the Bloodshed the other night, and it was a remarkable film.
What's that about? While we're here.
What is that about? That is about the artist. God damn it! I had never. Thank you. Hold on one second. Let me just get her name right, just since it's so important. I don't want to be Nan Golden, who anyone who's in the photography world knows who this woman is. She carved out a space for herself in the 80s during the kind of Lower East Side, New York independent photographic run. A lot of this stuff was pedestrian. She featured a lot of queer LGBTQ people in her community. And there was this whole new wave of photography that started bleeding in. So you think it's about her life and you think it's about that. And then towards the end of the exposition, she begins to reveal that she has struggled with drugs throughout her entire life. And what the movie is actually about, it's kind of split in two with her life. And there's kind of two stories about how she tried to document the AIDS epidemic when it was happening and how she recently got addicted to opioids. And she is the leader or one of the core founding members of that group that goes around to the museums and was demanding for the Sacklers' names to be removed and for their money to be taken away from philanthropic organizations that were still propping them up. So I don't know if anybody watched Dope Sick or if anybody has heard about these groups.
That's deep. I'm changing my vote from Fire of Love to that.
It is a beautiful artistic film that still deals with something like the opioid crisis in a very real way from a personal subjective point of view, while also dealing with her art in a parallel way.
I'm also where'd you find that? Because I'm going to watch that.
I actually watched it at school, so it was at a screening. So I'm sure it'll be streaming at some point. I'm not sure if you know what school I'm at right now, but it was one of those where I was so struck afterwards that like a few people kind of walked out and they were like, "John, are you okay?" And I was like, we have all lost somebody to the opioid crisis now at this point. And
isn't that crazy?
It got me. It really fucking rocked me. And it was also it was so shamelessly artistic and effective that I was like, look at them making a story about the opioid crisis and putting it through this lens of something so fucking beautiful, all the beauty and the bloodshed. So anyway, that's probably got my vote, but I haven't seen Alvani. I haven't seen the Splint. I haven't seen the others. So.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, I don't know anything. Oh, wait. The odds are, because I haven't seen any of these. Sorry. Navalny's giving 220. Fire of Love is plus 330. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed plus 650. So All the Beauty and the Bloodshed has a chance, but it seems like Navalny or Fire of Love, and it seems like this is just based off of their other wins. It seems like it has nothing to do with anything else. All right, go ahead. Everybody should watch Fire of Love. It's very enjoyable. Watch all and she has a Peabody Award, Sarah Dosha, who's directed that. Anyway.
All right, let's move on.
Dave, she came to my school and spoke to us in my documentary.
I'm not doing the joke again.
Okay.
We'll just cut out the middleman. Okay, documentary short film.
I got nothing, man.
Oh, Jesus, guys, I don't fucking know.
Elephant.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of these.
I didn't see any of the shorts this year.
I did notice, like Effects, and I think it's Effects, and Hulu has a few of these shorts.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you can find some of the Oscar shorts on Effects and Hulu.
We should go watch them. Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, there are billboards up around Los Angeles for all of these short documentary, fictional. This town is crazy, guys. They still fucking billboard fucking short films. It's fucking crazy.
I don't even see the shorts in the Vegas.
All right, Jeff, throw out the odds for this.
I don't see the shorts on
Vegas has sold out the documentary shorts.
This site,
what are they? The fucking Academy?
What if that was like the place to make the money in the Vegas odds? Was this niched out little corner of fucking.
Wait, I think this is the Louis C.K. joke. He said, "I love documentary short the best because the owner of the documentary short just does this for the work, not the money. They have no money. Whoever wins this award is taking this home in a Kia tonight."
Fair. All right, let's. We're not going to pick documentary short. Everybody watch it. Make your own decision.
Yes,
these you can find these. Let's move on.
Yeah.
International feature film.
Okay. Yeah. So we got.
Are we even reading out the rest?
All Quiet is the German,
and
we've
probably stop right there.
Is it just Argentina 1985? No, because RRR is not nominated, which it should have been. If that was in there, then I feel like we'd have a race. But somehow RRR, which people loved, and it could win another award that we'll get to soon.
Yeah.
Somehow it's not nominated for international feature film. Makes no fucking sense. But
they didn't even put anything. What did they put forward instead of this?
No, I think they put it forward. I don't know why it didn't. I don't know.
I think they only take 5. Yeah.
But still, I don't know why it wasn't in the top 2.
1985. Close, EO. I was supposed to be at a screening of EO tonight, actually. Quiet Girl. Unfortunately, I've only seen All
buzz
Quiet,
around Quiet Girl. But I
heard Argentina 1985 was good. I pressed play on it the other night, and then I realized I didn't have time to watch it, so I wanted to. I just stopped. But
how far through did you get?
Great. honestly, literally, like a first few minutes, and I realized I had assignments too, so I had to stop.
Okay.
I did not get far. Did you try to watch it?
No, what's that on?
Amazon Prime, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Or Hulu.
Right.
All right.
It is streaming right now.
Sweet.
And somehow Triangle of Sadness is in this weird thing.
We have 5 days to catch that.
Somehow Triangle of Sadness isn't in here, even though it's up for other big awards. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because it's mostly in English. All Quiet is giving 4,000. So again, you have to bet $4,000 to win 100. Yeah.
There's some idiot, stupid motherfucker taking that bet too. You know.
Sure.
Well, yeah.
Just looking at the tomato ratings here. If anybody gives shit, I haven't referenced these at all yet, but The Quiet Girl has a 96%. EO, about the donkey, has a 96%.
About Johnny the Donkey from Banshees of Inisherin.
In Argentina 1985 has 95%. All Quiet out of those 4 is only a 90. It's in 4th place right now.
Ooh.
So
and you know that metric is the perfect metric.
Is super accurate. Yeah, that's why everybody goes to how about the guilds? Who gave who what? Jeff, you got the PGA or the I sit here and scroll for BAFTAs.
I have them both up here. Something about Bear Grylls, one reality program. The Tony Awards.
Does that do a foreign film?
The BAFTAs have to, don't they? The BAFTAs? I don't see one on DGA.
Film, not in the English language. They gave it to All Quiet.
Producers.
I love how that's how they say it. Of course, the British.
Film, not in the English language.
Pass the tea, please.
Yes. Because if it's foreign, we're going to try and invade it.
Producers Guild. I don't see anything. I don't see anything for Producers Guild.
Weird.
I still think All Quiet's gonna take that unless they're earmarking that for Best Picture. So
I guess you know what, the guilds are American awards, so
that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, keep it moving. It's gonna be All Quiet. All Quiet, yeah. Give him 4,000.
Music original score.
All right, now we're having some fun here. All Quiet.
Yeah.
Babylon.
Now it's a contest.
All Quiet, Babylon, Banshees, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Fablemans, there are some names you might know. So Volker Bettelman, we probably don't, from All Quiet. Justin Hurwitz won for La La Land. He actually won 2. That's Babylon. Pretty fun score for Babylon. Pretty brilliant. Carter Burwell for Banshees of Inisherin. You know, Sun Luke's I don't know particularly well, but Everything Everywhere. And then John Williams, of course, for The Fablemans, which we haven't talked about a lot outside of Judd Hirsch. John, what do you got?
I have BAFTA's All Quiet one. That's a really unique score, you guys. It's the kind of score that uses silence sometimes. I think you know what I mean when I say that. It's not constantly playing, and the way that it uses minimalism in its composition along with sound design is really breathtaking. When I walked out of Everything Everywhere, I remember thinking like, holy crap, the way that they designed the music with what was happening in the film. But if I remember correctly, there's a lot of like Debussy and other famous pieces of music that are used in very interesting edited ways. So I was having trouble when I was looking at this list, remembering what the original music sounded like in Everything Everywhere. I remember being more impressed by how they used familiar classical music and familiar songs that we've heard before to stretch across the different multiverses and make you think about, like where you are. So as of right now, I have Everything Everywhere as my vote. I remember just being like, my jaw was on the floor for how they ended up using music in the film. But because not all of it was original, I think All Quiet might take it. I don't know if you guys, how you felt about it. I think we talked about it for sure, but if you've been thinking about it since then, but there are just some really interesting, bold choices that I think he made. It's the kind of score that I would not be surprised if that wins, because it's such a unique approach to scoring a war movie. It was just it was so fresh.
It was,
Dave?
yeah.
So that's, yeah.
I to be honest, I would vote for Babylon, because that was such a driving, like, it fit the character of every scene it was in, and it like well, there was that and like everything that, like, the whole way through that movie, the soundtrack was present and it fit everything it was doing. I think the voters are going to go for John Williams. Because this...
Well, you think so?
Yeah.
When was the last time John Williams won an Academy Award?
I think it's Saving Private Ryan. I believe so. He is his 53rd nomination according to Entertainment, and he won for a song for
imagine having 53 nominations.
Fiddler on the Roof, and then Jaws.
He's the goat, dude.
Then E.T., then Schindler's List, and then Saving Private Ryan. That's it. Just those 5. And there's so many. He did not win for Jurassic Park. He did not win for Indiana Jones, even though we know these themes really well.
Correct me, is Fableman's his last?
Did he say he's giving up?
I think he was retiring. Yeah.
I mean, he's not.
Because if he is, like, that's a big driving force. To like,
he's got this thing though.
Crazy.
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of voters that are like, we can't possibly vote for this when he didn't win for Jurassic Park. Like, the Fablemans is going to be number 30 on his catalog at best. So,
Jeff, he did not win, dude. For Saving Private Ryan, his last win was fucking Schindler's List.
So Schindler's List, E.T.
Something wrong there.
Saving Private Ryan. Sorry, Schindler's List, E.T., Jaws,
E.T.
Fiddler on the Roof, and what's the 5th one?
Star Wars.
Oh, fucking duh. God, idiot.
Star Wars,
fucking
Jaws, and Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Crazy. Have you heard of those movies?
Yeah. So I'm sorry to say that's the Meryl Streep syndrome. He's not winning for Fableman.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote the theme that is forever associated with anyone sneaking up on anyone ever.
You know, I feel like unless I don't.
He's written so many things.
Yeah. I think Babylon's got a chance again.
I think it's got a really good chance.
I think it's got a good chance looking at this. I guess that's it. I mean, All Quiet's this weird movie where it's like, I just feel like we shouldn't take it for granted. I feel like the Oscars, it gets so many it got 8 nominations, something like that. None of them are acting. So it's like
Buzz and Jeff are being wishy-washy.
Yeah, what do you got, dude? I know you wrote it down.
I didn't write shit down.
Drink your champagne, Jeff.
I think Babylon will win, and if I would vote, I would vote for
out of your fucking pint glass. You got
out of a stein.
Jesus.
I vote for All Quiet because they had those stingers. Remember those stingers?
Bubbly.
It's between Babylon and All Quiet. I swear I didn't look at this beforehand. Babylon is giving 175, so it's the favorite, which is surprising to me, but it was very flashy. It was very, very well done. And then All Quiet is plus 175, and the other 3 don't have a chance according to Vegas. But Vegas has been wrong before, so don't take these too seriously. It just means that people aren't voting for it.
Yeah.
Also, you forget about teases. So some people like what they would do is if you are sure that Austin Butler is going to win, but you would only win $50, you would say, okay, what if I threw in Babylon for best score and this for that, and then they all have to win. So it's like with teases, fuck with the numbers. But anyway. Next one, Babylon or All Quiet's gonna win that.
Music, original song.
Okay, so now this is interesting too. This is a 2-person race.
Yeah.
Applause.
No idea, you guys. Just skip me. Yeah, what do we got?
It's a Diane Warren song. But nobody saw Applause. So, or what is the movie from? Oh, Till. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Till Like a Woman?
Till Like a Woman.
Oh, I thought it was Till. Sorry.
That's
I
a
didn't
typo,
make this.
Yeah.
I need to make, or no, maybe, well, whatever. Sorry.
Hold My Hand from Top Gun. Lift Me Up from Black
Lady
Panther.
Gaga. Rihanna.
Natu from RRR.
RRR, yeah.
And then This Is Life from
Everything Everywhere. All right, it's a 2-person race between the RRR song that everybody keeps talking about and Lift Me Up, which is Rihanna.
Dude,
and
the dance in that song is fucking spectacular. I just want to say.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler. Also, Ryan Coogler has a music credit. Can you imagine if Ryan Coogler's first Oscar is a song?
Oh my god.
He apparently wrote some words. And then Ludwig Göransson, who famously won for best score for Black Panther, who was the very white Swedish dude who won for Black Panther. Can you imagine if Ryan Coogler, one of the great directors of our time, who transforms cinema in this age, made it's inclusive, amazing storytelling cinema, and he wins best song. That's his Oscar. Oh my god! But Stanley Kubrick doesn't have an Oscar, but Ryan Coogler has best song.
Here's a participation trophy for trying.
I just want to shout out Robon Katz. Robon Katz is one of my editing professors at school. He fucking co-wrote the song from Pinocchio, and he fucking co-wrote the song from Pinocchio. And they did not get nominated. They got nominated in like most of the other major award things, and they just didn't get nominated this time.
Wow.
Him and fucking Desplat.
This
old
Lady
buddies.
Gaga song that you famously did not like on our podcast.
Has this turned up in lectures? Is he bitter about it?
No, we all discovered it. We were like,
guys, Rihanna actually didn't write any of the music. Ryan Coogler wrote music and lyrics.
Oh.
That's fucking weird. All right, I'm going for
maybe he's good. I don't know.
It was catchy as hell. Dude.
If I had I'm gonna go should win, will win, RRR. I think this is.
I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you remember, but in our Top Gun episode, my only critique
critique
was
the song at the end was too.
I was like, no, it's like fucking not yet. Wait for the credits. Don't do it.
Natsu is giving 430. Lift Me Up is plus 430. So Natsu is a very significant favorite, but Lift Me Up still has a chance.
Didn't they take
Rihanna is performing, and she's going to be very pregnant, of course, but she is performing. And then Hold My Hand is plus 750, which is just like let's vote for Lady Gaga, but that's not going to win.
Yep, no.
Didn't the last Indian pop song win for Slumdog?
Well, it won score and song. Yeah, Jai Ho won. Even though
score as well.
I liked
fantastic.
Jai Ho was a fucking good song.
Jai Ho's a fucking bop. I loved Osai. I bought that album. I literally bought the soundtrack because Osai, when the plane is landing and the movie stars coming to town and the kids are running over the roofs, and it's like Osaya, and then Osaya. I fucking love it. But Jai Ho is a fucking bop with the dance at the end. It was awesome. Okay.
Oh, come on.
Right. Yeah. So there you go. Next one.
Short film live action.
Didn't see anything.
Skipping it. Yeah, we'll skip that.
Yeah,
everybody can watch.
No Vegas
here's the list for everyone who's watched them. Irish
guy.
Hunt these down and watch them before next week.
Anybody recognize in there? Alfonso Cuarón. Le Pupille.
I've heard people saying that's really great. Yeah.
Night Ride. Remember when Kobe Bryant paid John Williams millions of dollars to do a short film and they ended up winning?
Yes.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Night Ride and The Red Suitcase. All right.
Apparently, no one's allowed to say no to Kobe.
Hey, R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. His mural is painted everywhere in this town, you guys.
Yeah. Dave, next.
I watched the 1997 dunk contest the other night on YouTube. Jeff.
Yeah.
It was 19. It was pretty good. I've seen better, but he's unreal. He's fucking incredible.
We buzzed John for hating on the dunk contest back then. A 6'2" white guy won this year. Mac McClung. I saw clips of him in high school.
Dude, he is so sick.
He's not even in the league. Okay, Dave.
All right, moving on. Short film animated.
Yeah, no man. Sorry.
I mean, the only thing I want to vote for here is My Year of Dicks.
Oh, that's an actual name. That's the actual name of it. You know what I want to vote for? I want to vote for the Ben short film from Parks and Recreation. Stand in the place where you
love. Oh my God. Is that all I've achieved? Yeah. Staying in the place where you
Jeff,
so funny.
Oh, I might be depressed. Okay, Dave, next.
Or maybe the Family Guy did French neorealism one. You know where he's sitting at the kitchen table smoking the cigarette. It's fucking brilliant. Anyway, Dave, keep going.
Visual effects. Here we are.
All right, let's have some fun.
Oh boy.
All Quiet, Avatar, The Batman, Wakanda Forever, Top Gun Maverick. This is a fucking heavy hitting category.
Yeah, the first four are. The fifth one spent its entire fucking advertising period stating how much they did. Practically, they didn't use any visual effects whatsoever, and then it comes out there's 1,500 fucking visual effects shot in the film.
Dave, you know how many lens flares they cut out in visual effects? Do you know how many times the camera was in frame and they had to paint it out?
Well, that was definitely a thing. That was definitely a thing. But again, they ran their whole advertising campaign of we had people in the planes. We did this practically. We didn't use any visual effects.
I watched the actors' pictures where there's just all these gigantic camera crews. I was like, where were those in the shots?
There was actually a caveat. You were not allowed to do. The press was banned from doing. They didn't release any visual effects package for Top Gun because
they are visual effects expert on here.
This is a subject of bitterness in the community. Because they're I
love the Reddit threads that Dave's on. Dave's on dark Reddit.
We did. No, I'm on pissed Reddit, man.
Dave's on Dave has an 8chan account, not because he stormed the Capitol, but because of the other DPs that need to go in secret. And because they stormed the Capitol.
You're voting for your Top Gun Maverick, I assume?
No. you know what? I think anyone in this category was like, all right, we got nominated, and then they announced Avatar, and they're like, oh fuck. Yeah. I think it's going to walk away with this.
I mean, it should win, right? Like they did water. Well, they went underwater.
Mostly,
mocap underwater.
But like they also redefined facial capture. Like other studios apart from Weta don't have that facial capture technology. They rewrote the book. They rewrote the book on like LiDAR scanning. They rewrote the book on so many things on that film. Avatar all the way.
John?
BAFTAs gave it to Avatar. I completely agree. Avatar is going to take it and probably should take it. But Dave, I'm voting for Top Gun Maverick.
Just the piss Dave off. No.
Should win. Will win. Budget for that, but I have a button.
Avatar: The Way of Water. Not to give the short shrift, but it's fucking genius. And the fact that you figured out how they did the water, and also they did hair differently. They did the texture of the face differently. They did everything different than the last movie. I only know this because of you, Dave. I'm talking like I know anything.
No, it was unbelievable. Go watch both of them back to back. Don't do that. But if you want to, you would see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've seen clips now of the facial recognition system and the control you have, and it's just fucking phenomenal.
It's unbelievable. If I'm being honest, the faces weren't what blew me away in that movie. It was the environments. It was the environments. Yeah. Everything else, like no one can scared me.
No one can do water like that did.
Sigmund Freud's Uncanny. Like it was almost like unsettling sitting there in the theater because you're like, this is so real.
It was cool
that I'm not quite sure what I'm watching.
And I don't. That's why I don't mind when people are like, oh, this story, it's boring. They're just learning how to surf, or whatever. And it's like, I was literally in that world. That is good enough for me. I would do that every night. Just like, oh, I can't sleep. Let me just fucking go in that world and like fuck that tree for a little bit, or whatever they do with the tree.
Go live in fucking Pandora water world. What was the name of this water island? I was trying to remember the other day. The name of that water tribe.
Oh, I don't fucking remember.
Water islands that they go to.
Anyway, Top Gun Maverick is actually in second, but it's plus 1100, so it's got no chance. But it's anyway. Sure. Dave, next. You fuck the tree? Is that what is that? The connection to the tree is sensual, I know, but like
no, I think Sigourney Weaver fucked the tree.
I kind of forgot that was her when we were.
She somehow fucked the earth, and now her child is
that
in a
they insinuated that
she died, and they plugged her into it. Yeah.
Yeah, they plugged her.
Think about that for a minute.
Next.
It's like the Matrix meets the Bible.
Ooh.
Next.
That is the Matrix. Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Cinematography.
All quiet. Bardo. John, your movie. Bardo, Farce Chronicle of a Handful of Truths.
Yeah, let me kick it off because they won the ASC award the other night.
Well, let me read the whole category for our friends here. All quiet. Bardo, Elvis, Empire of Light, Roger Deakins. We saw. And I think it's because it's a Roger Deakins. It's a brilliant movie, but I'm a little surprised it got there. But you know, it's brilliant. And then of course,
there were some great shots in that.
And Tar deserved it because they did move that camera around a lot.
Once or twice, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But,
Come on. So BAFTAs gave it to All Quiet. Bardo was not nominated at the BAFTAs. The Batman, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Top Gun were nominated along with All Quiet.
Come on, Banshees. The Banshees, man, they did real locations and all that shit.
I thought that was surprising too.
It was stunning, man. It was beautiful. And anyway.
And he is a well-loved cinematographer. Who shot Banshees?
I don't know. He's young.
Florian. Was it Florian? Or did he shoot Babylon? Anyway, I'm going with Bardo. Without a doubt, for sure. That is my pick.
That is the one I still haven't seen, so I don't know if I can actually pick on this.
And I think they're also going to win.
Carter Burwell. That's composer. Shit, sorry. Cinematographer is Ben Davis.
Ben Davis, thank you. Ben Davis, who, Dave, you and I talked about him because he did a bunch of Marvel movies.
He looks young, but he's not young. 3 Billboards.
He did a bunch of the Marvel movies.
Guardians, he did Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Avengers.
He did Eternals. Sorry, dude. You did a good job. He did a good job on that.
He did.
He's done a bunch of the big Marvel movies.
Doctor Strange.
Bardo, I think is going to win. It's not just my vote. I think it's going to win because it's the only nomination.
Sorry.
So yeah, Bardo has it for me.
But I have seen enough of Bardo to know that some of those shots were fucking awesome. That was really wild. I don't think it's gonna win, but Dave.
I mean, I haven't seen Bardo. I will this week. Having said that now, at this point...
All of a sudden, this 20-year-old man becomes a 60-year-old man in the same shot. It's like really fucking crazy what they did in that movie.
Cool. At this point, all quiet. What? It was
cool. Sweet buzz subtext.
Jeff, don't buzz him. He's just getting toasty. He's just getting a little toasty.
I'm almost done with my bottle of champagne.
How are you done?
I'm
Nobody's fucking buzzed you. Here, finish it.
I had a shot of tequila before.
How have I done? It's an hour. We're an hour and a half in.
I haven't eaten enough food today.
Thank you to both of your significant others for giving you 2 nights this week of you just being on your computer getting drunk in your closet. You fucking weirdos. Okay.
I have so much work to do.
We're almost at Matt and Mark level episode length.
Dave, Roger Deakins is not going to win, so who are you voting for?
I think All Quiet might take this.
I would James Friend.
I would definitely vote for All Quiet.
Having not seen Bardo yet, I think All Quiet.
If it wins, hell yeah. It's fucking brilliant.
Some of the shots, and actually they shamelessly said that they borrowed technique from Roger Deakins, which I actually love. I love when somebody's shameless and
I've seen the how-to video on that. Yeah,
me too. I am personally voting for and also rooting for James Friend, who I hope wins for All Quiet on the Western Front. And the Vegas odds -410, and then Elvis in second place with +500. So still All Quiet is significantly ahead, but don't discount Elvis.
Yeah.
And then Empire's number 3, but again, it's just the Deakins effect. All right,
we're in the last couple.
There.
Anyone need a pee break before we go on? I do.
No, we got okay.
Jeff and I'll vamp.
Yeah, we'll
vamp.
I'm using that.
So what do you really think of Dave?
We should be on Twitch. We're gonna run the hour and a half episodes. We gotta get on the streamers for all the kids that live in their basement.
What does it say though? Isn't it interesting that
Dave, you're not even gonna give us the next fucking card?
No, he's not gonna give it to us. Hold on a second. ASC Awards. Let me make sure this is right. But I had a friend who went to it the other night, and I'm pretty sure they said Bardo won.
Casually drop that. What did you say? The AOC Awards?
Nope. Elvis. Mandy Walker won. Interesting. Wow. Mandy Walker won for Elvis. You said they're in second place with Vegas odds right now?
For cinematography? Yes.
Yeah, American Society of Cinematographers. Sorry, that's ASC. Theatrical feature film went to Mandy Walker. Yeah. I guess maybe something honorary went to Bardo. God, it's a shame.
It looked cool. I wonder too. I wonder. This is here. So let's use this in our vamp. So Netflix, it looks like Pinocchio is going to be their lock, and then All Quiet is their film lock. But they also gave all this. We talked about this. So Blonde came out kind of first in this run that they had, where they just gave all these people a lot of money, and all their movies came out at the same time. So Bardo was this other one. You saw it at a premiere in theaters, which is great. I imagine in theaters it was a fucking wild ride, as you talked about before.
It was so beautiful.
So that gets dumped on there too. I mean, people they can't see all these streaming movies, and I know that with most of the voters, they have screening rooms and stuff, and they get the screeners. It's like, I wonder if you just get fatigue of seeing all the streaming movies after a while.
I think you do. I think you absolutely do.
Especially they all came out within a month of each other.
Because I can't believe that's not nominated for cinematography.
Yeah,
it was so unique with the way that they filmed every single shot and every single scene and every single transition was a fresh take on how to film a movie. So that pisses me off that
the
they were
fire sequences, not even just those the segues, like the fucking on the waterfall sequence that was just like holy shit, but the opening sequence.
They were just talking about how it's a fucking travesty that Blonde was not nominated.
Yeah, we want more
That's
attention
crazy.
for Blonde.
Really?
It's nuts that it wasn't nominated.
It was shot well, so style. It was so interesting. Anyway, Dave, what's next?
I'm not going to agree with that.
Just go to
shouldn't be nominated.
No. Can you go to the next slide?
Wow. All right.
Dave, we're an audio podcast.
All right. Yeah. That's what podcasts are, motherfucker. Makeup and hairstyling.
Audio podcast, specifically audio podcast. All Quiet,
Makeup,
The
and
Batman,
hairstyling.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, The Whale. So
Elvis won for the BAFTAs. Throw that out there.
Because of is it because of Tom Hanks's accent?
God, that really is my hang up. That is my hang up with that movie, you guys. I can't stop. I can't say it enough.
Do you think it's Tom Hanks's hang up? Do you think Tom Hanks is happy he got COVID so that he could blame that for anybody? He's like, look, I did everything I could. Oh yeah, and I got COVID. People go, oh yeah, okay, I get it. Go.
I'll go first on this one. I'm voting for All Quiet on the Western Front because the continuity alone and keeping those boys, those young men, covered in all the mud and all the stuff. The period, people often think of like authenticity and the way people look. They give it to costume all the way, and they should. That's a big piece of it. But man, the makeup makes a huge difference, and I don't know, just the more and more I'm getting into the nitty gritty of how to actually make these themes seem realistic to me, I was shaken by how effective the war makeup was. And maybe that's a cliche because, war movies have some, throughout history get so much acclaim for that kind of stuff. But I'm voting for All Quiet on the Western Front, but I wouldn't be surprised if The Whale takes it. I don't know anything about the Vegas odds. Elvis won at the BAFTAs, like I said, but the prosthetic stuff in The Whale was fucking unbelievable. I mean, I don't want to shortchange that one bit.
I am going The Whale.
Nice.
That's what I think should win, and that's what I think the voters will go for.
Dave, did you see that reel?
Yeah.
Of Brendan getting dressed?
Yes, whoa. I did. Holy fuck, dude.
Wow. Really
also,
impressive.
what dedication for an actor. Like, he was in the chair for hours.
Yeah. I also feel like it should go for two things. Number one is these kinds of movies have been winning, whether it's so last year it was Tammy Faye. So it's like, and then you have the Iron Lady. You have the ones where it tends to be like one featured actor making the transformation with help of makeup, as opposed to the Lord of the Rings where you had 1,000 orcs.
That's a fair point.
The other day I was thinking about, you remember when we were all watching those movies and you were talking about that lead orc in Fellowship, and you were like, do you think he said to his friends, hey, did you guys see me in the movie?
Hey, you guys see me? Did you see me? Yeah. You see how that was me. Nobody's talking to him afterwards. He's on the carpet and nobody wants to interview him. He's like, guys, that was me. And none of the interviewers give a fuck.
Wow, that's just like being the colorist or something.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I always make it creepy every time I go to like a red carpet, because none of the actors know me, but I know them. I've been looking at them for 3 months, so I point that out while I'm shaking hands.
That's weird.
I'm creeped out.
Good thing you haven't worked on any illicit scenes. Okay, so anyway, I would vote for The Whale, and I think that one thing that's important with this particular movie is that I feel like he put the suit on and he gained the weight with class, and I mean that wholeheartedly and genuinely, because I understand the concern that some people would say is, well, why can't people, rather than cast a name and then make them into this, why can't there be representation for things like that beyond, race and identities and these other kinds of, and orientations and such? Can't we get some more, like Gilbert Grape or something? And, that's a different argument for a different time. But I do feel like they did this with class. And it's hard to explain why I believe that, but like, I do think that matters. And it was brilliant. And it was genius, but not just because they made Brendan Fraser look like a bigger man, but because they made the character believable.
Yeah,
that's it. So I think it should be The Whale.
Shit.
So The Whale is giving 120 and Elvis is plus 110. So it's pretty close between the two of them. And then Batman is pretty far behind in third.
Yeah, nice. I mean, the work they did on Colin Farrell for that was amazing, but dude, yeah.
It was also a long time ago. The Batman is one of those movies where it's cool that it got nominated. This matters. That was literally a year ago. It came out last March.
We're heading into the last few now. Writing, adapted screenplay.
Adapted screenplay.
All Quiet. All right. Glass Onion. That's Rian Johnson, of course. You have Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking.
Top Gun Maverick.
What the fuck was Top Gun Maverick adapted from?
The first movie.
It's just based on original stories. Is that what they mean?
Yes, original IP,
characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Women Talking is Sarah Polley's script. We talked about Women Talking, and that was very moving for me and all of us. So go see it if you haven't seen Women Talking.
Yeah.
All right.
Dave,
that's actually they dropped that this week on one of the streaming networks. So you can search, search for it on streaming. Yeah, John, go for it.
I am going with All Quiet. I think Women Talking could win, and I would be very, very satisfied with that.
Still a rental. Women Talking is still a rental.
Okay. I've never read either of these books, but All Quiet, post Parasite, we are finally seeing like the world really embracing, and with the streamers, it's probably the best thing that's come out of these streamers. We're seeing like international film and television like really coming into people's homes across the world, not just in America. And this is probably the best example of that in my mind, of look what happens when you actually take, we've, all the ages of decades of classic Hollywood trying to tell stories in British accents and American accents of like international cultures. This was such a perfect example of this is how you adapt something and actually do it with authenticity and then bring it into homes across the world. So I was just really, really, really moved by it. I think Women Talking was really great as well. So I would not be surprised if that won. But there was something really timely for me with the war in Ukraine, everything that's happening right now, about seeing that German perspective and told in German. And it just, I don't know, it really grabbed me. So that's my vote.
Dave?
I'm the same. All Quiet.
Nice.
For both.
Ryan Johnson was nominated for the first Knives Out. I think this is almost like a thank you for doing this fun genre again. And we understand that you had to take the money from Netflix, and we wish it could have been in theaters for longer, but there's no chance that it's going to win. Living in Top Gun, there's just no chance it's going to win, even though good job. So Women Talking and All Quiet. I agree with everything that you both just said.
Yeah.
I think adding that character in All Quiet should count for something. I've never read the book, but just knowing that they added the Daniel Bruhl character. So it was basically like, he was the most sympathetic character in this, and he was literally blamed by the Nazis essentially to justify why they needed to go back to war, like single-handedly, because he negotiated peace, and they got a bad deal. But they took a bad deal because the trench thing was fucking stupid, and Germans were just dying for no reason, as were the French. Anyway, so, but I think Women Talking, I should win and will win. I would vote for Women Talking. The whole movie is just talking.
Yeah.
You know, so All Quiet is a brilliant movie, but also the direction, the cinematography, the production design, all these things. Not that takes away from the screenplay. It's all because the screenplay was good that is true. But Women Talking is the movie. The movie is Women Talking, and it's a very moving piece of just them talking. And I think that texture worked for me. And looking at the odds, Women Talking is giving 240. All Quiet is plus 155. So it's basically like a 70-30, 65-35 for Women Talking over All Quiet.
So Women Talking's in the lead?
Yes.
I'm good with that.
All Quiet won the BAFTAs.
I didn't look up the WGA. I'll look it up, and I'll give you both the WGAs after the next category.
All right. We're going to move on.
Yep.
Writing original screenplay.
So correct me if I'm wrong. All 5 of these are the exact same nominees for Best Director. Banshees of Inisherin, Martin McDonagh. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, The Daniels. Both of those are directors. Yeah. The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg, Best Director. Tony Kushner. Tar, Todd Field, also the director. Triangle of Sadness, Ruben Östlund, also the director. Tell me that's not the exact same for both. Isn't that weird? I don't know why that's not getting enough attention, because that's a pretty interesting moment.
Yeah.
Now, you could have the Birdman thing where Birdman just wins both and it's anticlimactic, or it could be an opportunity to spread the wealth. So I'm very curious to see what you think, and I'm very curious to see what the Academy does.
The WGAs, Everything Everywhere took it, and for the BAFTAs, the Banshees of Inisherin took it.
Yeah, I think it's a
Americans won at the WGAs, and the Englishman, Mr. He is English, right? Isn't that what? He's not Irish. He's actually born and raised in English, but Irish.
Born in Ireland, raised in England, like Kenny Branagh.
Excellent. Okay, so there you go. I am going with. I'm going with an outlier here. I'm going with Todd Fields for Tar. That's my vote for original screenplay. And I think, despite what we just said with the list, I think The Fabelmans has a chance to take it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know these awards had happened that way. I think Martin McDonagh has won before, so I was thinking maybe people would think, oh, he's won before. And Everything Everywhere is one of those where
I just lied.
I need to read this screenplay to actually make this call. So this is just a distance, me, speculating here. But what is most effective for me in this movie probably did not exist on the page. It was probably in the conception of how they were going to shoot it and put it together.
I do know they used We See, which apparently everyone is bagging out on Twitter right now. So.
It's like a screenwriting software or something?
No, We See is the we see this happen. Like it's a technique in screenwriting. We see, and for some reason everyone's bagging out We See at the moment. I don't know what's going on with that, but
there's a whole school of thought on whether or not you're supposed to use that that third person. And when you're talking
at least
about
4 of the nominees for writing a original screenplay used We See. So
By the way, I lied.
So I might be the only person that's going for Tar, but that's my vote. Tar.
I lied. He was totally raised in London, but both his parents were Irish. My deepest apologies.
I thought so too. I thought that's what it was on the Team Deacons podcast. I thought that's what he said to him.
Yeah. And he's also
there's punishment on this show.
Yeah, but shout out because he's dating Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and that's fucking cool. Okay, go ahead.
That is cool, I guess.
Somebody else?
I think I'm going to go for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I think they're going to give it to it. Because I enjoyed how it was structured, how it was, I enjoyed everything.
What I think I would vote for Banshees here, but not necessarily for Best Director. I would split it up. That's what I would do. And I think that it matters, but it also, I don't mind that Everything Everywhere is going to do the clean sweep. I'm also reminded of the Coen brothers versus Paul Thomas Anderson in 2007, 2008, when the Coens won Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Director and Best Picture. And it's like, can you just give Paul Best Director? You know, can you just do that? You know? So it's like, I feel like with this, if I were voting, I would spread the wealth and I would give Martin McDonagh, because this screenplay is so tight. It is. But also it seems so free and easy. And I know Everything Everywhere, it's so wildly specific and it's so brilliant and all that kind of stuff. And they directed what was on the page. But I think this is easy. Give Martin McDonagh this award and then give the Daniels Best Director. I think it's the easiest thing that if we could pitch it and do a group vote, not anonymous, that's what I would do. But I would not be surprised if everything did the clean sweep of writing, directing. Okay,
so what are your two?
I just said it. Should win Banshees. Should win Banshees. Will win Everything Everywhere.
There we go.
And
got it.
Okay, nice. So for both of the odds, Everything Everywhere is giving 150, Banshees is plus 100. So it's pretty damn close. 60-40, maybe 55-55. And then for adapted, Women Talking is giving 240, All Quiet is plus 155. So like 60-40, 65-20, 30-35 for Women Talking.
Cool. All right. Moving on. Sound.
You put sound here. That's fine.
Okay. Well, we had to put it somewhere.
All Quiet, Avatar, the Batman. All Quiet, Avatar, the Batman, Elvis, Top Gun. Seems like monsters. It seems to me like All Quiet, Avatar, and Top Gun, but really All Quiet and Top Gun. All right, what do you think, John? No disrespect to Elvis or the Batman, by the way.
I was going to say, I'm going outlier here. I thought the sound design in Elvis was fucking crazy. I just thought it was really, really unique. And the way it ended up playing such a huge part of his approach to telling this story, it was not a realistic sound design. You know, it was definitely very conceptual, but it just, man, it worked for me. And I didn't even get to see this in Dolby. Do you remember me saying that, Dave?
Yeah.
I saw this in a regular digital theater, and I was still just like, what the fuck is happening, dude? This is fucking brilliant. So almost more design. It's almost a shame that for anybody listening, the sound community is kind of pissed off that they combined this into one large award.
Yeah, of course.
Because there was a very big difference between the editing that goes into sound effects, backgrounds, music, and dialogue, production sound, and the eventual final step of mixing all of these elements together.
Especially now Dolby's in play. They combined
it this year. Yeah. So they combined all these together. So it's a little frustrating. I might have different votes if we split it up. But I think Top Gun is going to win, and I'm not upset about it. Like you said, there might not be a place to give these awards out. We're talking about editing. We're talking about visual effects. I think Top Gun might take sound, and I think that would be really fun. And I think that'd be really cool. But Elvis actually has my vote. All these other ones are really fucking impressive, though. All Quiet was incredibly, brutally realistic, and it was hard to listen to in the theater in a great way. Dave?
I agree with you totally. I did see Elvis in Dolby, and it was like I was in the motherfucking concert. So like that is the second best. Maybe, now that we've got to this point of the year, maybe the third best Dolby mix I've ever heard in a film.
Fuck, and I missed it.
Yeah, it was amazing, and they deserve a fucking award for it. Elvis, all the way.
I listened to a podcast with one of these guys, specifically the one who said it in Dolby. Maybe it was Mark Taylor, and it was fucking cool. No, that's Top Gun. Sorry, Elvis. I forget who it was then. Sorry, Michael Keller, maybe. Anyway, I'm with you, and I saw it on HBO Max, and I thought Elvis was brilliant. But it's going to be between Top Gun and All Quiet, and I'd probably give it to All Quiet because I think war movies always win. Although I early in the year would have thought Top Gun. So I'll say I'll say I would vote for Top Gun, but it's gonna be All Quiet. Will win All Quiet.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. And
Nice.
the odds are will win Top Gun. Minus 400. All Quiet is in second at plus 360. So that's like 75-25 towards Top Gun Maverick.
I think they're wrong.
God, I want to go watch
think
Top
they're
Gun
wrong.
right fucking now. Dude.
I might watch it tomorrow.
Dude.
All right. Are we at Best Director yet, or is there anything else?
Production design.
Oh, we haven't done
Production
cinematography yet, have we?
design.
Yeah.
Okay,
We did
we're-
cinematography.
Yeah, we did. I voted for Bardo.
Oh,
and you
you're
guys
fucking right.
voted
Okay,
for,
production design. You're right.
Hmm.
Okay, All Quiet, Avatar, Babylon, Elvis, Fablemans. Come on, guys.
Yeah, Fablemans, I think, is
I love
out of the
it.
running here.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I shouldn't. I don't mean to
I
laugh.
love the
but
film. It was a feel-good
I
film.
love the film.
Yeah.
It's just not the kind of movie that wins these awards.
No.
But kudos to them.
All right, same deal. All Quiet, so realistic, so authentic. I wouldn't be surprised if it wins. I'm voting for Elvis, and I think Avatar is going to win.
Dave,
I would vote for Avatar, and I think it's going to win.
I would vote
Yeah,
for. I
I
would
think
vote
so.
for Avatar. I think All Quiet's gonna win.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be. You're never. It's never a shock when a brilliant war epic takes
Yeah,
these all of
that's
these
fair.
awards, right? I mean, it's fucking crazy how realistic that was.
production design's hard to call this year.
All right, let me look.
Yeah.
Out
I
of
know
all those.
we're going quickly through this, but it's brilliant. I'm
Yeah.
surprised Babylon isn't gonna get. Maybe
Oh
Babylon.
yeah, my bad. I forgot to look up.
Oh my
What did we just do? Sound. I forgot to let you guys know that sound at the BAFTAs was All Quiet,
Yeah.
and production design is Babylon at the BAFTAs.
Oh.
Babylon's giving 225, Elvis plus 330. All Quiet's nowhere. All Quiet and Avatar. This is fairly close for across the board. The fact that there's 4 that are in the triple digits. For those of you who don't, this is not. It's not a runaway race. Let's put it that way. Fablemans is not going to win, but Babylon giving 225 is the favorite. Elvis is in second, but then Avatar and All Quiet are not. You know, it really could be any of them if you play the odds. But Babylon's the favorite, and then Elvis.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on. We're almost there.
All right.
Directing.
We sort of covered this.
boy.
Banshees, Everything, Fablemans, Tar, Triangle, Yeah. Mark McDonough, Banshees.
Am I going first again?
The Daniels,
sure, go for
Steven
it.
Spielberg, Todd Field, Ruben Ostlund. Let's see what we got. John.
All right, I'm going for the Kwans.
Yeah.
I think it's their year. I think
You mean the Daniels?
After everything-
Daniels.
the Kwans. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. Daniel and Kwan and Daniel Scheinert.
Daniels.
Yeah, sure.
Not the Daniels. Daniels.
Just Daniels. We didn't mention their short film in the movie they made. by
Yeah.
Daniels. Everything I've said all this whole episode, this is probably why I'm going to be giving it to them. All the elements, it could have all been really sexy and attractive in individual elements, but this film is incredible because they found a way to make it work. And I'm going to give it to them because I don't know if anybody else alive could have made this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think they are very original. I've seen all their shorts. I'm curious to see what they're going to do next. Not to be that person, but this is their thing that they have been exercising for about a decade now. And this is the best it's ever been. So I think I'm going to give it to them for that. But I would not be surprised if the Academy gave Steven Spielberg one more rap,
True.
just because it is so personal. He hasn't made a movie like this in a very long time. The only other time he made a movie this personal for me, I think, was Schindler's List, and it was so intensely dramatic. I feel like this was something that we haven't seen him do in a long time, and he proved to us once again that he's more than what you think he is. So
To jump on that
I
too,
wouldn't be shocked.
ironically, because this is his most autobiographical film, it was also his most humble directing achievement, in my opinion.
Totally,
Dave?
I completely agree.
I think the Daniels have got it.
Yeah, same.
Like, given the trouble they had with their VFX pipeline, everything they went off book so much to accomplish,
Yeah.
and accomplished it so well.
Yeah, the world building, everything. And I don't mean to
Now, I do just want to
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to point out that Edward Berger was not nominated for All Quiet.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
He won the BAFTA, and he was not nominated. And I don't know if it's because it's technically a foreign film, but he would have gotten my vote for best director.
Yeah,
if he had been
I
in
think
this
That's
film.
fair. That would have introduced a level of competition.
I think Ruben Ostlund here, no disrespect, because Triangle Sadness is polarizing. I loved it. My family hated it. It's whatever. I I'm surprised that he's in there and that Edward Berger, I think, would have gotten that spot. But kudos to Ruben Östlund for getting nominated. But still.
Sure.
Daniels across the board. And I don't mean to diminish what they did with the writing because, they wrote such a strange and unusual piece that's so brilliant. But it's so obviously them for Best Director. They should win. Nobody's going to sit there and be like, oh, they shouldn't have won. Even Spielberg, and I appreciate it, but he's not going to win. It's going to be the Daniels.
Spielberg should be on his feet. Like if that gets
he will
announced.
Be on his feet.
Yeah.
He will be on his feet.
I think he will. Yeah. It's nuts.
All right. And then they're giving 1800. They're basically a lock. Okay. And then Spielberg second.
Moving on. We're at the end, guys.
Right.
We're at the end.
So this is ranked choice voting.
So small on the screen because now there's 10 fucking pitches.
This really could be like 5 different ones because they do the ranked choice. So we'll talk about that in a second. All Quiet, Avatar, Banshees, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, Women Talking. Women Talking is a good surprise in there.
Yeah.
I also wish that Charlotte Wells got. I wish Charlotte Wells got something for After Sun, but I mean, Paul Mescal's in there, but
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't say that enough. Women Talking, directed by fuck me, guys, what's her name?
Women Talking,
like Sarah Polley. Sarah Polley.
Well, she's gonna win. She's gonna win for writing. But I'm surprised that After Sun with Charlotte Wells that is nowhere because she's winning like best newcomer, best whatever. She's winning all these other awards.
I know
she won
so
a DGA
many people
or a WGA.
Who After Sun is their favorite movie this year.
Yeah,
it is crazy to me that usually a tiny little movie like that splinters its way into the mix, and I do not know how it got looked over this time. For me, I know you love Triangle of Sadness.
And
I thought
could have been in there.
Sun,
Yeah.
I thought After Sun and Triangle of Sadness were in the same world of that independent outlier. And I thought After Sun for me was more successful.
For me, Triangle kind of died in the third act. So
I understand.
I agree.
No, could have been here. It's a very interesting list. But All Quiet, Banshees. I doubt Elvis, but maybe. I mean, everything is going to be the favorite. I haven't looked, but it's going to be the favorite. Fabelmans people loved, and then of course Top Gun is this very strange like. It's cool. We don't know. Like it could because of the ranked choice voting.
Was nominated for Best Picture in '77.
Was it?
I think so.
I think so too. Cool.
Look it up.
Because of the ranked choice, you can have a lot of people.
I was 5. So
you could have people burying Top Gun, being like this shouldn't win, but you could have people burying Banshees and being like it's too dark. Why are people liking this? So Banshees could win if it was a single ballot, but I think because it's ranked choice, I think Everything Everywhere is going to win.
The couple next to me would have bagged Everything Everywhere all at once because they walked out 20 minutes in.
Well, there you go.
So weird.
What do you guys think? I already told you. I think Everything Everywhere is a lock because of ranked choice, if nothing else.
I agree. I think it's going to win. I am going to agree with the BAFTA awards, and I'm going for All Quiet on the Western Front for sure. That's my favorite. I think that's the best picture this year.
Dave?
I mean, I agree. All Quiet on the Western Front was a fantastic movie, but I must admit, in that advanced screening in IMAX of Everything Everywhere All at Once, I have not experienced such a feeling of joy in the theater watching a film since my teenage years. So
we want the Oscars to represent what's happening now.
If they're going off how it makes you feel,
that's the movie,
which is how we operate, then Everything Everywhere All at Once is all in.
I would be torn if I was a voter because I would want to vote for Banshees, but I would know if I did that I was voting for a third-party candidate. Not that it can't win, but that Everything Everywhere it's the movie of the year.
It's between two movies. I think there's probably more people who are considering The Fabelmans than
the old voters.
I think it's All Quiet. Fabelmans,
they added too many young voters for that.
Everywhere.
They added too many young voters. The past couple of years, they added 3,000 young voters. Everything Everywhere is giving 700, Banshees plus 1,100, All Quiet plus 1,400. So it looks like director and picture are sort of a lock, but you never know. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Let's try to keep it under 2 hours here. So
we always,
Yeah, know what you've been watching. We'll just sign off.
We got to keep it there. Always a pleasure, gentlemen. Another good award season. I'm so glad we saw so many of these movies ahead of time in theaters.
What a fucking year!
What
in
a year!
2022, dude. Jesus,
these movies came out swinging.
I don't know who's still listening to this, but the 5 of you still listening to the hour and 53-minute, we saw. I guess I said we saw almost all of these movies in theaters, and they're better in theaters. So the lesson is Just go see them.
Also,
see what movie's coming out this weekend and go see it. We saw Everything Everywhere before when it was limited release. We were like, let's go see it. People are talking about it. We saw
for
it.
anyone who's hesitant to go to the movies, I've been going to the movies since 2021, and I got COVID in a bar. The only place I got COVID was a bar.
I stopped Mexican theater and I never
got it. Yeah. Good call.
I got it at a retirement party.
Wow. Was it retirement permanent?
Definitely is now, that's for sure.
Enjoy your Sunday night Academy Award watching, ladies and gentlemen, and come at us if you disagree or if you have your own votes.
Those of you that are watching and aren't watching The Last of Us.
If you disagree, give your own opinion. You have your own fucking opinion, people.
Yeah, I mean, we have a phone number now.
Fuck you, listener.
Yeah.
If you disagree with us, it's our opinion.
You can call us.
We do have a phone number now. Dave, you want to announce the phone number?
Okay, the phone number, which you can find in the all of the
show notes.
Show notes. That's what it's called. They buzz me a lot. Everyone, I'm so sorry. It's fuck you.
I was doing it too. I just did it too. That is as well. Fuck you, Dave.
Fine, you read out the fucking phone number. Okay, the phone number, if you want to leave us a voice message, it can also take texts. 646 484 9298.
I'll put it in the show notes.
I dare you to call it.
I'm texting you right now.
Thank you, guys.
It's not for you guys.
It's not for text. It's not for text. Okay, this is Dave's.
Happy 2022 movies.
What if in the show notes I just put Dave's personal number?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that was my personal number during the pandemic when I was doing like help desk tickets for my job. So anyone who still has that number and calls it is now going to get a very interesting fucking message.
I hope they do. They're gonna get a lot of spam too. All right, people, we gotta go. I want to keep it under 2 hours with the fucking music. Oh, we didn't do our sponsors with the $sign music. Bye.